Hello, welcome to our VNA broadcast daily, and following are today's headlines.
Vietnam hails Russia, Cuba's human rights efforts. Northern mountainous provinces surmount whirlwind consequences. More than 10,600 contracts inked during Mekong Expo in Cần Thơ City.
Vietnam highly values Russia and Cuba's efforts to ensure human rights. The remark was made by Ambassador Nguyễn Trung Thành, permanent representative of Vietnam to the United Nations Office, the World Trade Organization, and other international organizations.
Tang was attending the 16th session of the Human Rights Council's Universal Periodic Review Working Group in Geneva from April the 22nd to May the 3rd. He said Vietnam acknowledges the Russian government's efforts in human rights protection and highly values concrete measures that have been implemented in the country to ensure human rights, such as building the constitution, reforming laws and promoting regional and international cooperation in this field. The ambassador praised the sense of responsibility and positive contributions made by Cuba to the Universal Periodic Review process. He suggested Cuba pay more attention to protecting children, enhancing women's role, promoting gender equality, and maintaining policies to ensure the rights to religious and belief freedom. During the two-week session, Tang also applauded efforts made by other developing countries in ensuring and promoting human rights.
The Prime Minister has approved a project to care for children in especially difficult circumstances during the 2013-2020 period.
They are orphans, abandoned children, HIV/AIDS carriers, victims of toxic chemicals, children with severe disabilities, and victims of natural disasters. The community-based project aims to mobilize the participation of the whole society, especially families and local communities, to care for the children. Under the project, by 2020, 95% of disadvantaged children will receive assistance and access to social services. Suitable care models will be developed for children who are severely disabled, victims of toxic chemicals and HIV/AIDS carriers, and the quality of care for especially deprived children at welfare centers will be enhanced. Also, as part of the project, policies and legal documents relating to the participation of the community will be devised.
Authorities in several northern mountainous provinces are exerting efforts to overcome the consequences of heavy rains and whirlwinds which have hit the localities over the past days, killing one person and causing severe property damages.
In Lai Châu province, an 8-month-old child in Nam Ha village, Nong Hao Cormil, Sinh Ho district, was killed as the house collapsed after heavy rains and strong wind winds between April 30 and May 2nd. The disaster also injured another in Tam Dung district. Heavy rains and wind winds have destroyed nearly 4,400 houses and damaged more than 400 hectares of rice and other crops in the neighboring province of Yên Bái, causing total estimated losses up to dozens of billions of dong. The local authorities have immediately sent forces to the spot to help affected residents deal with the aftermath and soon stabilize their life. Sơn La province has set up working teams to help people in wind-hit areas to surmount the consequences. The local authorities provided 10 million dong to each household to reconstruct their houses. According to the Provincial Flood and Storm Prevention Office, wind winds and heavy rains in late April and early May injured 5 people and caused a loss of over 7 billion dong.
A requiem was held in the northern province of Điện Biên on May 3rd to pray for peace for the nation and its people and commemorate soldiers who laid down their lives during the past wars.
Taking place at the province's Độc Martyr Cemetery, the 3-day event is part of activities to mark the 59th anniversary of the Điện Biên Phủ victory. The Dien Bien Phu victory on May 7, 1954, put an end to the French colony in Vietnam, as well as in Indochina. It bears international scale significance as it served as a bright example of national liberation for colonized nations worldwide. At the opening ceremony, Buddhist monks, nuns and followers, heroes and martyrs, relatives and people from various parts of the country prayed for national peace and people's prosperity and happiness. They offered incense to pay tribute to heroes and martyrs who made great contributions to the country's fight against foreign invaders and national construction and defense through periods. Nearly 2,500 remains of soldiers who sacrificed during the resistance wars against French colonialists and American imperialists, and those who died while serving international duty in Laos, were buried in the Độc Lập Martyr Cemetery.
The Purchasing Managers Index of Vietnam's manufacturing sector posted 51 points in April, up slightly from 50.8 a month ago, signaling improvements in operating conditions for the first time in almost 2 years.
The figure was released by the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation in its recent report on Vietnam's Purchasing Managers Index at the beginning of the second quarter. According to the report, manufacturing output rose for the second successive month during April, albeit at a slightly slower pace than in March. Manufacturing employment also rose for the second consecutive month, thanks to job growth linked to the recent marked recoveries in production and new order volumes. A number of firms reported that they had satisfied existing contracts from stock holdings to clear backlogs of work. Inventories of finished goods were depleted for the 6th month running. The report also said average input costs increased again during April, with manufacturers reporting that they were paying higher prices in both domestic and world markets. Some manufacturers revealed that they were offering discounted prices in order to support sales volumes. The expansion of manufacturing activity reflects the gradual improvement of domestic demand, the bank said, adding the manufacturing sector continues to see growth supported in the rise of employment and output. The year-to-date increase of foreign investment into manufacturing shows Vietnam's still strong competitiveness in labor-intensive manufacturing, said the bank.
More than 10,600 contracts were inked during the Mekong Expo Vietnam that wrapped up in the Mekong Dana city of Cần Thơ on May 2nd.
The 6-day event drew over 110,000 visitors who came in droves during the April 30th and May 1st holidays. Local porcelain, pottery and handicrafts attracted the enthusiastic interest of consumers. Themed cooperation and investment for the development of Mekong Delta and boosting trade promotion, the expo was jointly held by the Ministry of Industry and Trade and the People's Committee of Cần Thơ City. With 370 stores, the exposition helped participating businesses promote trade, cooperate and expand their network of sales agents and branches in the Mekong Delta region. Among the activities organized, the event included workshops on tourism development and the connectivity between producers and distributors, and a program to introduce new products and technologies used in agriculture and rural development.
Nearly 400,000 domestic and foreign tourists flocked to Da Nang City during the International Fireworks Competition, which was held in the central city on April 29th and 30th.
According to the Municipal Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism, the figure represented an increase of more than 8% from 2012. However, the real number is even higher as many people visited Da Nang without booking tours at travel agencies. With the team Love Upon River, the competition was the 6th of its kind hosted by the central city. Melrose Pyrotechnics of the U.S., with their spectacular display, overwhelmed 4 other teams to rank first at the event. It was followed by Japanese and Italian teams as runners-up. while the teams from Russia and the host Vietnam were placed third. Next competition will take place in the central city in 2015.
And that is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.